Welcome back to the Signal Fire, y'all. My name is FireNet, and welcome to the first series of 2021 and to Season 3 of Survive the Blackout. I am so excited to get back into this. For those of y'all that are just joining me for Survive the Blackout, Survive the Blackout is a party-based, tactical, interactive adventure game with choose your own adventure elements. Connor actually compared this to a roguelike, and he's not far from the truth about this. For the sake of transparency, the developers gifted me a copy of this, so a big thank you to Baby Bison Games for the gift. If you like what you see, link is in the description below. Now, Survive the Blackout. Like I said, this is Season 3, so let me kind of just give you the heads up of it. Season 1, we lost all of our characters. Season 2, we got to the very end, but we did not get the best possible ending. So we're going into Season 3 to see if we can get the good ending. This is one of those games where every decision you make counts. And the other cool thing I like about this is the sheer fact that while you pick one party member, all the other characters in your party are randomly generated. And we're going to get onto that in just 1 second after the introduction. So with that being said, let's dive on back into it, shall we? This is Survive the Blackout.
We couldn't have anticipated this. No one could. 3 months ago, all electric devices overcharged and burned out. People called it the Blackout. Accidents and disasters that followed it took a toll on the population. No family was unharmed by the blackout. Cut off from the rest of the country and unable to find any authorities, all we could do was watch our world fall apart. Chaos ruled the streets. Nowhere was safe. Then the light appeared, a beacon of hope in the dark. Our choices were stay here and die, or try to reach it. We were luckier than most. We found the doctor and he knew the way to the light. He convinced us that there was still hope and took care of us. When we doubted, with his nerve and strength, he reassured that we were safe and in good hands. This morning we found him, his own light extinguished. It is up to us to reach the light now.
So there's the introduction. I know there's a lot of similarities to previous TV series, I guess most notably Revolution, maybe some Walking Dead elements in here. But I really like this because I played this game, including the demo, 3 times. This is the 4th instance. So I'm really excited to see what happens. So now here we are on our character screen. This is where we choose the one party member that we actually want. So we have different character classes, like Sarah, for example. Pardon me, she's a survivalist. I know that Alex is also survival. Actually, hang on 1 second. Let me adjust something very quickly. There we go. He's also a survivalist. We also have Boris and Anne, which... Oh yeah, she cannot be a leader. Our idealist, and then we also have Jack as the loner, and Sanvi as the idealist. So each person has their own strengths and weaknesses that you can choose from. So I think it's kind of cool that you can pick an idealist, either get 2 other idealists or a couple of survivalists or a loner. I think we've already used Alex several times as a leader. I believe we've also done Boris, but I've never used Sanvi as a leader. I think we've done Jack as a leader as well. So ideally, we'll want to have an idealist, a survivalist, and a loner. But once again, since it's all RNG, I'm actually just going to start off with Sanvi. So she came into the country to study marketing, then opened a thriving business. Sanvi was the best in her field, and she could easily talk to everyone to her ideas. Might seem fragile, but her inner strength carried her through life's turmoils. So we are going to start with Sanvi. Now, I'm also going to start on this is easy, and we can always change the difficulty later on, but this game really doesn't pull any punches. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to disable QTEs. So a couple other quick things before we jump in. This is instance-based, so while one instance may be the same, I think some of them are always going to happen within the course of the game, but I feel like others are just straight-up RNG. So if I can hear the Lloyds at me, oh, Boogie Night's picking too easy. I played this on normal several times, Lloyd, and it is ball-wrenchingly tough. One other thing I do want to get out of the way too, two actual things. The second thing is there is an unlockable character here that I have seen in several previous iterations. Maybe we'll unlock that, get in the good ending. I don't know. The third thing I do want to get out of the way is this game is entirely text-based, so these episodes might not be the longest because it's going to take a toll on my voice. And also, if you don't like the sound of my voice, well, A, why are you watching this? And B, get used to it. So that being said, we're starting with Sanvi. Let's do this. I'm going to adjust the volume in a minute. Alright, so before we get into this text, here's our three characters. We do have two idealists, Boris and Sanvi, and then we have Jack the Loner. So, starting with Jack, we have his bio. He's a fashion photographer turned war reporter. He's seen a lot. Despite facing nightmares, he remains hopeful and kind. His intuition and a keen eye for detail let him see through people. He was never a family-type guy. So, okay. So, stop mouse. So we have his perk. He's got an eye for detail. You notice what others would overlook. And actually something I discovered last season is that you can get additional perks depending on what the characters do. You have health, satiety, which is hunger, stamina, which is based upon movement and actions, and morale. Now, if morale drops to 0, I think you can go maybe 1 or 2 instances, and then they're brown bread. They're gone. We have notes, we have armor, and we have items in hand. We'll get to all that in a minute. We have Boris. If you want to read this, feel free to pause and take a look. His perk is that he's popular, heart of gold, and impressive strength. Cool. And then Sanvi, idealist. Her perk is a diplomat. You can talk your way out of the worst scenarios. This is something we definitely could have used the past couple of seasons. We have health, medicine. We have food. We have a mouse that doesn't work. We have energy drinks, and we have mood boosters, also known as alcohol. We can only use these when we get to our campsite, which we can do between instances. We cannot do it in the middle of an instance. So let's start. Yesterday we had a clear goal set by the doctor. We were to find his old friend Frank to stock up for the road. Today we found the doctor outside like that. He left us. Why'd he do that? So we can search the body, we could hurry to gather our stuff and move on, we could bury it, or we can ask Boris his day. Now, each thing you do has a potential impact on morale. I know this is probably not the best thing, but we do need to search the body. What's this? We took the body down and began searching it. It wasn't a pleasant task, but we found a few items. Some cigarettes, a lighter, unmarked medicine, and a letter. So we did get one medicine from that. We can take the items, but read the letter later. Read it out loud. We shouldn't have any secrets. Destroy the letter. We're going to take the items, but read the letter later. Oh, this is new.
Boy.
I've never seen... I'm going to have to bleep that out. A letter of last rites. We'll leave it at that. One of us read the letter. Someone had to know what it contained. For now, we shouldn't let it disturb us from the mission. We will look at it when we have more time. Okay, so let's go. We don't have time for letters now. Let's go. With heavy hearts, we came back to the house. The doctor's backpack stood on the table. A painful reminder of his absence. We were about to move out. That was our last stop. Now, we can either look at the doctor's belongings or we can search the house. Some of these things we have to make a snap-to decision. If we can either look at the doctor's belongings, and I think searching the house will be off the table, or vice versa. Now, there is an option to explore residences. We're going to get to that in a second. Let's not take the belongings. Let's just go ahead and search the house. Now, this is the house hunting screen. We have a danger level up here. So whenever we do each kind of thing, like we search for an item or we open a door, this level goes up. When it hits cap in red, we're basically going to be faced with a QTE, usually of confrontation. So we always want to be careful to leave before this hits cap. But since this is an intro stage, we're going to search everything. A photo of a happy family, kids laughing, and adults looking at each other with sheer love in eyes. Where are they now? Leave it here. One other thing I do want to get out of the way, baby bison is I want to say they're Swedish. They're definitely of the Scandinavian sort, so there might be some translation issues, but nothing enough to inhibit the game. We found some food. That's fantastic. And see the danger level going up. Now, if this was above easy, this would go up consistently, even if we were just sitting idle. Now, if I do decide to do a Season 4, we will do a normal mode, and we're just going to do it to play the game. So we have 2 more things we can search in here. More food. Brilliant. We need to stockpile on everything. Not again. Okay. We should move on now. Go to our camp, prepare for the journey ahead. Let's go. If we pick the idealist, this is probably going to impact Boris and Sanvi. So let's go and do that. See, it climbed up a little bit. We're going to go in instance, and then we'll go to the camp. So we set off. I hope we will not regret it. The light may be our only hope. We have to try. We stopped by nearby ruins and slipped off our backpacks. It was so peaceful that we left them there and walked a few steps ahead. Then we heard some strange sounds behind us. Move there carefully. Who's there, or ignore it. I have seen this instance twice before. This is RNG. This is not scripted. So we are going to move there carefully. This also has an impact. Now, see how we're covering this? You see on the happy faces that it's going to be an impact on morale no matter what we do. So if you see something glowing, that means it can inhibit us or have a positive impact as well. So let's move there carefully. Morale went up. Good. We frightened a scrawny girl that searched through our backpack. She didn't manage to steal anything. We were lucky. Teach her a lesson. Drive her off. If we had Alex, we could do why you're stealing. But since Sanvi is here, let's go ahead and do why are you here. The girl looked at Sanvi with tears in her eyes and explained she lost her parents recently. You're a fearless girl. You can't steal or let her go. Let's just go ahead and let her go. Actually, let's do Sanvi again. The girl was very convinced by Sanvi's words, but she was relieved that we didn't do anything to her. She never thought that she'd become a thief. The blackout changed everything. So obviously morale has gone up. Now, as we walk, we're going to start at camp, and you're going to see satiety and stamina drop. But we're going to go to the camp next so I can show you. Never mind. Okay, we got a QTE. As we passed by some abandoned garden, we noticed we weren't alone. Someone attacked us, defend ourselves, talk this out. We're going to run. So we lost some stamina. We broke into a run hoping that would somehow save ourselves. The bandits didn't let go. We're going to go ahead and use Jack because, once again, he's got a keen eye for detail. So we lost more stamina, but that's okay. Jack managed to find a hiding spot where we waited until the bandits gave up looking for us. We were safe. Okay. Now we're going to click on the campsite. So that's the first what I mean by a QTE. Now, if we turn on, we decided to enable QTEs, you would see a meter go completely down. And so there's really not a lot of time to think. And since I'm still explaining this game to you, in which case then I want to be able to show that to you with everything. So here are the options now when we actually are here at camp. We can, for example, let's start with Jack. We can manage resources, which means we can consume medicine, food, which we don't need, stamina, we don't need energy drinks for that, and we don't have any booze, so we're going to ignore that. Food, give me just 1 second, food. Let's do something else, click out. You can also talk to others. Let's go and open the inventory. So we have a blanket, essential, necessary for good night's rest, enhanced stamina increase, and the letter. Let's go ahead and put the letter in. We're going to equip it. That way we can read it really quickly. Oh, the doctor's testimony of lost hope. Something broke him. Sacrifices on the road. Let's unequip that, because that really doesn't have much of an impact on anything. It's a special item. And let's go ahead and just talk to others. Jack, can I ask you something? It depends, but yeah, shoot. Why the war correspondent? You had everything. I don't want to dwell on this now. Actually, bear with me 1 second, because you can't see the inventory at the top of the screen. That would help, so we're going to move this down. There we go. Now you can see everything at the top. So we have medicine, food, energy drinks, and mood boosters. Okay, so let's do something else. This is all just kind of get to know characters a little bit. So if you want to talk as much among characters, it's not going to impact choices or decisions. It's just to unlock more story points. So let's go to Boris. Let's talk a little bit more. I think I remember you from the last fashion campaign I worked on. Yes, it was when I started my company. Seems like ages. Exactly, almost all my... Okay, not really. It helped put things in perspective. Must have been difficult. Okay. If you guys want to read that, you're just going to have to read it yourselves, because it is kind of tough to manage. So with that being said, now if we want to sleep, here's the other thing too, is we can take a short break, which this will... Whatever we do, short break, short nap, long sleep, it will improve our stamina, but it will also drop our satiety. Since we only have 3 food, we need to manage resources. This is key for survival. Let's do something else, and let's hit the road. We packed up camp swiftly, the light awaits. And actually look in the background during this movie, because I really do love the graphics. You can actually see the light right there in the background. We noticed an abandoned van. The vehicle had spots of rust all over the body, and it was hard to tell whether it contained anything valuable. Let's observe it for a bit. We observed it for some time, but nothing happened. It seemed like yet another abandoned vehicle. So if we do this with Boris, it's going to drop his stamina and maybe his health, but I know there's stuff inside. Okay, so it upped morale, but dropped stamina for Jack for some reason. Boris managed to break a piece off of the back door, allowing us to peek inside. It appears that that van was used to transport canned goods. We may try to get inside, but it will consume a lot of time. A few hours is worth the effort. Okay, this is going to drop his stamina quite a bit. Actually, it didn't. It took Boris a couple of hours, but he managed to remove the back door. He also injured himself. Okay, so he lost a bit of health. in the process. Most of the food we found inside was inedible, but there were some canned provisions that seemed okay. So now we have 5 food. So we got 2 food from that. We really needed this provisions. Good. So let's move on. We found a low, half-burned apartment building in which only a coffee shop on the ground floor seemed to be intact. What shall we do now? We should go inside. So we got several different things to choose from. Boop, boop. Nothing. Let's search for somewhere else. Nothing. Damn. We got energy drinks. Yeah, we can do one more. We found some booze. Okay, we need to get out. Actually, that was interesting. We saw the danger meter climb a little bit more, so maybe when it hits a certain threshold, it will just automatically go up. I don't know. But I do love these pixelated graphics. Very reminiscent of something like, say, Christoph, Dan Sanderson, Puppet Combo, Scythev, that low-res, low-poly group. As we were coming on a short hill ahead, we felt a strange odor. What should we do? I believe this is going to have an impact on our morale, so we should probably avoid it. I think this is, yeah, I think this is something we have to avoid right now. So let's go ahead and avoid it. Before the blackout, we wouldn't walk extra miles to avoid a stench. Now, it almost certainly meant danger. And there wasn't anyone that could help us if we got in trouble. I'm looking at Boris's stamina. We'll go a few more instances, and then we might give him an energy drink. Because once again, if we sleep, it's going to drop our satiety, and there's really no need to do all that. Actually, let's stop and go to camp real quick. And let's just give Boris a energy drink for starters. Just to kind of get him back on the same pace with Sanvi and Jack. Now here's the thing too, is if we... Okay, so yeah, we can only use it on each person. So if you want to give it to somebody else, you have to click on them first before you can do that. So we see his morale or stamina go up. Quite a bit, actually. So we're back on more of an even keel with everybody. Boris's health is a little bit lower than Sanvi's and Jack's, but that's still okay. We want to kind of keep them on the same page, so when we do have to take sleep or food or anything like that, we can kind of do it as a collective unit. We marched late into the night. Before the blackout, our paths would be much more comfortable with lamps illuminating the way. Now it's just darkness all around. Scout the area first, hit the road, let's go a bit further. Let's scout the area. This is going to have an impact on stamina. As you can see, the stamina bar gleaming, glowing. I'm tired. But it's always pays to look around before we take a rest. We found a small cottage on top of a small hill, hidden but with a perfect view on the surroundings. The sky seemed to shimmer with stars, and the mountain with the lights was visible in the distance. We could spend the night here, set a fire. This is going to up our morale and our stamina, but it doesn't look like it's going to have an impact on our satiety. So let's actually spend the night here. Let's not set a fire, though, because I feel like if we set a fire, that is going to... well... you know, that might help. Okay, so that ups our stamina and our morale, so I'm glad we did that, and our satiety didn't drop. The fire lured some insects. It was so peaceful and quiet, so quiet that we almost jumped when a stray animal ran somewhere close to the house. Still, we get a chance for a proper rest. Now, these last things we do per instance, and you'll be able to gauge what's the end of an instance or not, will never impact any of our 4 settings. So I always try to keep something positive, so now we can move on with new energy. We heard flies buzzing, and someone started thinking about a previous encounter a couple instances ago. The bodies rotting in the open over a grave, the flies, the stench, would we end up in those 2? Now, once again, we can just keep walking, or we can pick the idealist approach, or they weren't vigilant. We have 2 idealists here, so I feel like we should focus on Boris and Sanvi, but I'm going to keep an eye on Jack and see if there was a negative reaction. Nothing? Okay. Would like to believe that there was still good in people, but this, killing people trying to bury a loved one? And silent, Boris, I won't let this happen to us, or Sanvi, it's difficult. Well, Boris, of course, being Papa Bear, we want to try and keep this as positive as possible. Boris was more cautious since then. He would protect us. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so stamina's starting to drop. Now, this is the hidden character that I can't quite figure out yet. I feel like this Victor's probably only unlocked when we get the good ending. But we found an abandoned shop, with an untouched entrance to the apartments above. Even though this place looked peaceful, the building itself made a rather grim impression. We should have a closer look. As we came closer, we noticed old signs of forced entry. Whoever did this must have been long gone. We should search it anyways. We need to see we have items. Nothing. Crowbar. Hey. Nothing. kitchen? Nothing. We don't have time to go on the other one. Used up everyday medicine, used to keep illness at bay. Maybe the owner left it for search of more. After the blackout, it'll be difficult to get a resupply. And we out. If we search that other area, the danger meter would go all the way to the top, and we would have a conflict event. Oh, damn. A bullet flew nearby. We saw someone running away not far from us. The attacker jumped out of nowhere as his victim tried to run away from him. We can interfere, we can hide, or we can run away. Now, this is where the choices matter thing comes from. I feel like we should hide, but I think we should also interfere. Morale dropped. We heard an order to stay away in a cold, hard voice. We were at gunpoint. The victim crawled behind some other obstacle. I mean, we could try to take the gun away, or we could stop. See, if we take the gun away, we're going to lose health. If we say stop it, this is going to have more of an impact on everything else. The attacker shouted that it wasn't our business. The victim used the chance and ran, and the furious attacker followed after him. We tried to catch them, but we lost them. We didn't take too much of a hit in these departments. Once again, I feel like we made the right decision to try and stop it, even though there was no benefit for us. This game's got a very gray area. Oh. A strange pair approached us, a bit timid at first, desperately tried to start friendly chatter, as if they had something in mind. We could rob them. Simple. But once again, we're trying to go for a noble ending, so we do have to focus more on the positive and less on the negative. Even though, here's the question I want to pose to y'all, is if you were in a post-apocalyptic situation like the Blackout, how would you react? Let me know in the comments below. So let's go ahead and listen to them. The two brightened up. We started with small talk, but soon moved on to their religion with visible neophyte zeal. They stated that their faith explained the Blackout. Listen more, maybe it'll be interesting. Laugh at them, politely change the topic. Nothing's having impact on our morale or any of our other things, so let's go ahead and listen. The Blackout was sent to punish humanity, they said. The only solution was to follow Shepard Owens and work together under his leadership. Angrily stopped them. Blackout was not our punishment. We could do that. Work together? Or who? Who is probably the simple area, or work together. Let's just say who, because this might unlock some more plot points. Zeal lit up in one of them as he started talking about Owens, the father of old faith. He took them in when the Blackout happened and showed how to properly help others. You must be a good man or refuse. I think... let's go and refuse. They seemed disappointed but understood. The old faith is accepting, said one of them. They kindly bid us farewell and left. They were kind, but we felt relieved when they were gone. Naive kids. Boy, he's like, what? Hang on. That was funny, actually. I don't want to get too religious or spiritual, so let's just go ahead and say let's go. A massive car crash blocked the road. It probably was one of the many car crashes that happened during the Blackout. With a chill, we realized that there was no other way. Let's move fast and don't look at the bodies. We can search the bodies. We should move with caution, or let's search the cars. We shouldn't look at the bodies, but that's going to impact all of our stamina and our health. We can search the bodies, which is going to impact our morale. We should move with caution, which is going to impact stamina and morale, or let's search the cars, which is just going to impact morale. I think I searched the cars last time. Let's go ahead and search the bodies. Searching corpses was dreadful and repulsive, but we did get medicine and booze. This feeling made us hesitate when we found a trunk full of food next to a young girl's rotting corpse. Let's hope it was worth it. We will remember them. It's a common sight now after the Blackout. Let's remember them. Sure. Boris, is something wrong? You don't look down on me. You don't pity me as an immigrant. Why should I had a rough start as well. I know the feeling. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Would that be? Alright. And we're back. Sorry. A strange group appeared nearby, hidden from their sight. We could safely overhear them, making laugh of the only girl in the group. Ask them for help. They might have resources. Ambush them or listen carefully. Let's go ahead and listen first. They laughed in the girl's face for her feelings to her last setup. A naive boy who still believed faith could help him. Interesting. And made him easy prey for them, especially with their cult-like dress of ah-ha-ho. It needs to be stopped or steal their supplies. Once again, we're going for the good ending, so we're going to say it needs to be stopped. We watched them for a moment longer, wondering what approach would be best for us. The girl noticed us but didn't warn the rest of her group as she wanted us to do something. Help the girl, attack them, steal the resources, or do nothing. Let's help the girl. They laughed that they didn't need, quote-unquote, that bitch. Lovely. Then they shoved her towards our group. They soon made us leave together with the sobbing girl. What is going on? Or leave them alone. Yeah, let's see what's going on. She stuck to them. Damn it. Sorry. I'm expecting some work emails. She stuck to them as she had nowhere to go. Now she regretted every minute spent there. Someone has shown her that even now robbing people wasn't any solution. They still claim something is on you. How can you be sure that you're not lying? Were you in love? Let's go ahead and yeah, let's find out. The terrified girl admitted we were right. She wanted to end with deceiving people for those thugs, but they made her do one last job. Now she just wanted to make things right. Okay, let's leave her alone. Interesting. I've never gotten that instance. I definitely don't like that. Boy, he's looking wide-eyed. Someone was following us. We caught glimpses of a man ducking into hiding areas as we traveled, but didn't know who that person was. His intentions weren't clear. What do we do? We could catch him, ambush him in some secluded area. We could try to lose him. Let's ignore him. Let's try and see if we can lose him, actually. Doesn't look like anything's gonna have an impact on our stats. We found an abandoned village a bit off of our trail that seemed like a perfect spot to catch whoever was following us. We didn't get there, even though we waited for a while. He didn't get there, sorry, even though we waited a while. What should we do now? Let's get back on the road. Okay. Ooh. The man stalking us disappeared, but we had the crawling feeling of being observed. As we were passing by a village, we heard a sudden noise. Was it him? Let's check that. Boris, let's do this. Ooh. Boris was gone for a long time. He didn't come back alone. Apparently a group of men led by the stalker we encountered before we caught him. They surrounded us, leaving no way to escape. We can fight. They won't get anything from us. Let's talk this through. Okay. The men weren't interested in talking. They left Boris at our feet, took most of our supplies, and left. Well, we still have food. So we lost an energy drink, but we still have medicine and food. Okay, that's fine. Let's gather our stuff and leave this place. Actually, let's go to camp really quickly. Oh, I didn't notice Sanvi was drawing in the dirt. We're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna give Boris the crowbar. Cover the rust, but it still makes us for a useful lever, useful for prying and breaking through things. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Since Boris is kind of like the survivalist equivalent of Alex, who's a mechanic. We could sleep, but our satiety is fine, our stamina is fine, so let's wait a little bit longer. We found the perfect spot to rest, a tiny wooden cottage. It was dilapidated, but the surroundings were so peaceful that would gladly stay a little while in here and relax a little. Yeah, let's go inside. Oh, I forgot about this. Crap. We were inside when we heard it, glass breaking and then the burst of flames. The cottage caught fire quickly. We were trapped. Risk and run through the door or break the window. Okay, there we go. Break the window. We managed to escape through the window, flames licking our feet. We made it outside, but it wasn't over. Yeah, move your freights, y'all. We moved out of the fire's reach. We were lucky the fire didn't spread further. Notice that nothing dropped in our stats. That's good. I forgot about that. This game, you need to stay on your toes. Not just because every instance is RNG, despite a few scripted events, but it really makes you think before you take action. We found a sign nailed to one of the trees. We were near Frank's camp, the one that, according to the doctor, was supposed to help us. So much time passed since his death. Don't give in to hope yet. Let's look around. There's still hope. Let's go and look around. We looked around and we found, hey, we got more food. Brilliant. Once again, early in game, you want to be able to hoard as many supplies as possible, because when you get to the latter stages of the game, you will have difficulty finding things. We looked around, we found an old stash nearby. One of the food rations were still useful. If people from the camp had stashes like this one around the site, it was probably doing well. It could be wise, it's suspicious, it might be a trap, let's just go. I mean, it could be suspicious, it might be a trap, but it could also be wise. Let's go and do wise. I don't think I've done that one before. Boris, I just love when it goes... Look at their facial expressions, actually, for a minute. Like, when you have time, look at each of them and see what the reactions are. Probably mainly Boris, but possibly Sanvi as well. Maybe the camp before us was proof that society was being rebuilt. If they had more than enough to leave food out here, must have meant something. Let's do this. Oh. I've seen this before. We approached an abandoned petrol station. The place was deadly calm. We should probably go inside regardless, even though it was probably searched. Once again, we need to see if we can find stuff. The main store is utterly devastated, but one of the walls looked like it could be breached. Maybe that way we could get to the other store. We could force it open, which doesn't look like anything's going to happen, or we could just look around. Let's go ahead and look around real quick. And who'd that be? Okay, let's see what we got. Medicine, brilliant. Food, extra brilliant. Nothing. Come on, mouse. And nothing. Okay, let's get the hell out of Dodge. It made a grim impression on us It made a grim impression on we as we left the place. Once again, translation issues. It's not terrible, though. We'll do a couple more instances and then call it a night. As we moved down the road, we noticed an old fast food restaurant next to the road. We immediately became hungry at the thought of snacks and coffee. Would hope to find there. Let's check it. It's empty for sure. We should check it anyway. We entered the building, and surprisingly, it didn't smell of rotten food. We headed to the kitchen when we heard a sound from behind. And where do you think you're going? Throw something at him and run. Let's talk this out. Take his gun from him. Or just... We could try Sanvi, actually. The madman would spare us only if we gave him something in return, preferably meds, food, or something too small to improve his mood. We have food, so let's go and give him one food. We were lucky. The man was so focused on what we gave him that he didn't notice when we snuck out and ran away. At least we survived. We have to be more careful in the future. Let's go. Yeah, okay. We've got enough food, so I'm not too concerned about this early game. Something moved in the thick bushes next to the road. There wasn't much around except for abandoned fields and some single houses in the distance. Whatever it is, let's scare it off. Let's wait and see if it moves again, leave it, or let's check that. Let's wait and see. We silently waited in the bushes, for the bushes to move again. After a short while, two kids, a boy and a girl, with a pretty big backpack went out of hiding. Let's take it from them. Let's leave them. Yeah, let's help them. Once again, I'm not happy that we're losing food left and right, but once again, we're trying to go for the positive ending. And that's based upon good reactions. We gave them food, and the boys swiftly grabbed it from our hands. They ran away through the fields as if the devil himself chased them. They won't be hungry. We shouldn't share supplies just like that. Let's go. Positive. We noticed a strain of smoke in the air. As we got closer, we heard some heavy cursing coming from one of the houses in the distance. Cautiously approach or rush away. I know this instance. It's okay. Oh, we don't have Alex, though. Shoot. Coming closer, we heard cursing and painful moaning. A man was bent over with pain in front of us. He didn't notice. We come in. Let's go and observe. We crouched through the dirty window. We saw that there was a way in the other side of the building through the kitchen. The man was dressing his wound, wasn't paying attention to anything. What's that machine? Let's see what Jack says. We slowly followed Jack and moved around the house from the kitchen. One could descend unnoticed into the cellar through a side drawer, almost invisible from a previous point of view. What's in the cellar? Yeah, let's see what's in the cellar. Hey, we got medicine and food. Brilliant. As we moved into the cellar, quiet as mice, we heard this house owner above. We packed some food, and then we had to wait until the man left the kitchen. We ran out shortly after. Let's do this. Yep. A sudden commotion in front of us woke us up from our thoughts. Loud cries and shouts were coming fast towards us. What should we do? Check it carefully. Yeah, let's check it out. A few drunk men were fighting each other right now. Their backpacks lied there unprotected. Grab the backpacks, they won't notice. Hide well and watch. So stamina went up too, but morale went down a hair. We should meddle, we should stay away, they will kill each other. The men fought over food, alcohol, and some woman that rejected one of them. Oh, this sounds familiar. It looked as if they fought to kill. We should stop them. This is going to impact everything. Our courageous efforts bought us only pain as they united against us. They left us alone after they searched our backpacks. Okay, so we lost nothing. Let's do this. We're still doing okay across the board. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, once again, work stuff. The store's windows were all broken, its interior all covered with vulgar graffiti, as if someone put all of their frustration into it. Let's have a peek inside. We should. I got a bad feeling about this, but you never know. Shelves inside were broken too, but we hoped we'll be able to find anything there. Yeah, of course. Oh, Snapdragon. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, come on. Mouse. Hey, booze. Hooray. Medicine, and out the door. The stray cat observed us all the time we spent searching the shop. We felt silently judged by it as we moved on. Let's do one more instance and then we'll call it a session. My throat's getting pretty dry. On the road sideways, we saw a poppy covered with blood and 2 female corpses. Lovely. Whoever left them here, he didn't bother to hide or bury them. One of them had another poppy tucked in her hair. Look for clues what happened. Bury them. Whatever happened, it's not our business. This is going to impact nothing. This is going to impact probably our morale. It's going to probably drop. So let's go and just bury them. We felt relieved that we gave the mutilated bodies to the ground. After that, an old woman approached us. Wow. Thankful for honoring the dead, she invited us to her home. We could go with her. We could refuse and hit the road. Refuse politely. We could talk here on the road. Yeah, let's do that. The woman admitted with a sad smile that it happened too often recently. She did what she could, prayed, and it was fortunate to have someone guard her home. Strange woman. Let's go. Okay. Set up camp. So this is actually going to be where we stop for this particular session. My throat, like I said, is going a little bit, and so is my voice, and I probably should start dinner. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game so far for Season 3, and hopefully y'all are too. Once again, a big thank you to Baby Bison Games for giving me a copy of this. Hopefully you are enjoying this as much as I am, developers. So, y'all as viewers, what do you think? What works? What doesn't work? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I know I'm behind on replying to comments, but I do read every comment. I'm going to make a concerted effort to start replying to every comment. And hey, if you like this, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. It lets me know what works and what doesn't work for the project. Once again, I feel like I should be mentioning my channel sponsor, but since this was gifted to me, all I'm going to say is links in the description below. Good friend of mine as well. So with that being said, before I call tonight, if you like the Signal Fire project and you want to find out more, I do have a Twitter page as well as a public Discord channel. Links to both of those are in the description below, as well as a link to my temporarily defunct Twitch page. Once again, I don't know when I'm going to get back into streaming. If you want to know more information about that, check my new rebrand video that's gone up recently. I think it was a few days ago as I'm recording this. Anyway, but hey, this wouldn't be possible without help of my incredibly attractive patrons. You'll see their names go by. If you feel like doing a little bit more for the project, and honestly, likes, dislikes, comments, shares, subscriptions, that helps so very much. But if you want to do a little bit more, I do have a Patreon. Links in the description below. Or for as little as $1 a day, you get access to exclusive content such as the Patreon-only section of my Discord, as well as Patreon-exclusive uploads that go on every Saturday. And I am doing Patreon requests. And just know that all donations from my Patreon go exclusively towards getting me a better computer, a better rig, better equipment, and better things like that, so I can in turn give y'all a better experience. Although, I do occasionally spend it on coffee. So yeah, so if you want more information, check it out. Links in the description below. And a big stonking thank you to my patron cabal. My gratitude knows no bounds. So otherwise, with that being said, I hope y'all have a fantastic night. And always remember, keep your fires burning.